Good evening, this is GCN English News Edition and you're watching with me, Huy Kim Kongsai. First, the headlines. Manipur governor discusses state situations with HM Amit Shah. Armed forces in final stages of preparations for 76th Republic Day parade. Trump promises harsh immigration crackdown on inauguration's eve. News in detail. Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla on Saturday met Union Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi and discussed the prevailing situations in the state, officials said. A Manipur government official said that Bhalla, in his maiden visit to national capital after taking over the gubernatorial chairs of the trouble-torn Manipur on January 3rd, went to Delhi earlier this week. The governor briefed the Home Minister about the state's ongoing situations, the officials told IANS, refusing to disclose the details of the discussion. The governor earlier met President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar in Delhi. After taking over the chairs as governor on January 3rd, Bhalla, on his maiden tour in the state, visited Charichampur and Bishnupur districts on January 7, and during his interactions with various civil society organizations, appealed to the leaders to work collaboratively with the administrations in peace-building efforts. He also visited various relief camps in Charichampur and Bishnupur districts and interacted with displaced people who have been staying in the relief camps since the ethnic violence broke out in Manipur in May 2023. Bhalla, a former Union Home Secretary, on January 10 visited Moret town along the India-Myanmar border and took stock of the overall functioning of the Integrated Checkpost ICP and ongoing border fencing work. Officials of the Land Parks Authority of India briefed the governor about the functioning of the ICP and jet between India and Myanmar. Bhalla also met with leaders from civil society organizations to understand their grievances and listed views of different business and community leaders of Moret town, including the Border Trade Chamber of Commerce, the Tamil Sangam, the Manipur Muslim Council, and the Gurkha Samaj, and heard their issues and concerns. The Border Roads Organization's BRO has stepped up the work of India-Myanmar border fencing near Moret town in Tingnopal district. 4 northeastern states share a 1,643-kilometer border with Myanmar, of which 398 kilometers is in Manipur. The entire 1,643-kilometer porous India-Myanmar border, known for the smuggling of arms, ammunition, and narcotics, would be fenced at a cost of Rs 31,000 crore. At least 250 people have been killed and over 1,000 people injured in the ethnic violence between the tribal Kuki and the non-tribal Meitei people since May 3, 2023. More than 60,000 people have been displaced from their homes and villages and now staying in relief camps in different districts for the past 20 months. The Manipur government declared a half-holiday on January 20, Monday, as a mark of respect for legislator N. Kayisi, who passed away after a prolonged illness, a statement said. Kayisi, the MLA of Dadubi in Senapati district, died on Saturday. He was 58. The governor of Manipur is pleased to declare half-holiday on 20 January 2025 from 1 p.m. for all offices and educational institutions under the government of Manipur as a mark of respect to the memory of late N. Kayisi, the statement said. Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla also condoled the death of Kayisi. And Kayisi, a member of the Legislative Assembly MLA representing the Dadubi Assembly constituency, was a senior leader of the National People's Party (NPP) and a highly respected political figure in the region. Kayisi's tenure as MLA was marked by his unwavering commitment to the welfare and development of his constituency. He was known for his grassroots approach to politics, addressing critical issues faced by the people of Dadubi and contributing significantly to the overall progress of the constituency. with an aim to extend and create an atmosphere of goodwill and positive relationship with the local people and address the needs of local villagers. 112th Battalion CRPF organized a Civic Actions Program (CAP) at Ireng Naga Village KPI district under AOR of D/F 112 Battalion CRPF on 21/2025 under the aegis of Dr. Vipul Kumar, IPS IG CRPF and Sector and the able guidance of Manish Kumar Sachar, DIG Operations KPI, and under the overall supervision of Pramod Kumar Sahu, Commandant 112 Battalion CRPF. The program was attended by the Village Authority Secretary Sitong Nang in the presence of Commandant 112 Battalion and senior officers as well as officer commanding of D/F 112B. About 150 villagers attended the program. While addressing the program, the Village Authority Secretary lauded the role of CRPF in defending the fringe areas and also for ensuring stability and safety in the area. He also highlighted the importance of fostering a stronger sense of relations between central forces and local communities. Speaking on the occasions, Commandant of 112 Battalion CRPF stated that CRPF will always strive to strengthen relations with local communities. He also expressed his gratitude to the village chief or village authority members and all villagers of Ireng Naga for sparing their precious time for the successful conduct of the program. CO 112 Battalion also reaffirmed CRPF's commitments in serving the local communities. During the program, sport items, volleyball and football with nets, syntax, flexi pipes, solar lamps, school bags, dustbins, etc. were distributed to the needy villagers or beneficiaries. A cultural dance program was also performed by local youth club members. Local villagers also expressed their gratitude to PK Sahu, Commandant 112 Battalion and Company Commander of DF 112 Battalion for organizing this CAP. They also praised 112 Battalion CRPF for carrying out such people-friendly initiatives with the hope that many more similar events would continue in the future also. Tensions has gripped Udalguri district, Assam, after a 75-year-old Catholic church was allegedly set on fire by miscreants on the night of January 15. The incident took place around 10:30 p.m. in the Ambagaon area, coinciding with the Assamese Bogali Bihu celebrations, triggering widespread outrage. Local residents have expressed shock and anger, stressing the importance of upholding the secular values of the country. Such acts of violence are unacceptable, and the authorities must conduct a thorough investigations to bring the perpetrators to justice, said one local resident. The Udalguri police have initiated a comprehensive investigations into the matter, focusing on identifying the culprits and preventing any potential communal tensions. Borderland Territorial Region (BTR) Chief Executive Member (CEM) Pramod Boro condemned the attack, directing the district administrations to ensure a detailed probe and take stringent actions against those responsible. BTR Executive Member Ranzi Basumatari and Danjai Basumatari also visited the site, urging the community to maintain peace and harmony. The incident has sparked widespread outrage, with people from various communities demanding swift actions, justice, and stronger measures to prevent such attacks in the future. The Manipur police on January 18 arrested one cadet of United People's Party of Kanglipak UPPK from the Hiang Lam Lai Pangamba area, Kakching district. The arrested individual has been identified as Sograk Pams King Sean Singh, 35, a resident of Hiang Lam Lai Pangamba Manak, Kakching district. In another incident, the people personnel spotted and stopped two Meitei youths while traveling along National Highway 2 as they were accidentally about to cross Kanglatong before due to lack of geographical knowledge of the area. The personnel timely stopped the Do at Kanglatong B Forest Gate Naka checkpoint at Kanglatong B. They were safely guided back towards Imphal area later. Meanwhile, the frequent search operations and area domination exercises were also conducted by security forces in the fringe and vulnerable areas of hill and valley districts. Movement of 169 numbers and 293 numbers of vehicles carrying essential items along National Highway 2 and National Highway 37 respectively was ensured, and strict security measures were taken up in all vulnerable locations, and security convoys provided in sensitive stretches in order to ensure free and safe movement of the vehicles. A total of 106 nakas or checkpoints were installed in different districts of Manipur, both in the hill and the valley, and no one was detained. The Indian Armed Forces are in the final stages of preparations for the 76th Republic Day Parade, showcasing a harmonious blend of traditions, discipline, and cutting-edge technology. The parade will feature 6 marching contingents from the Indian Army, representing its rich history and valor. The participating contingents include Brigade of the Guards, the Mahar Regiment, the Jat Regiment, the Garhwal Rifles, the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, the Corps of Signals. Accompanying these contingents, the melodious tunes of the Army Band will provide a captivating backdrop featuring patriotic and martial music that embodies the spirit of the armed forces. Apart from these, Chetak all-terrain vehicles, Akash air defense weapon system, BrahMos missile system, Grad BM-21 rocket launchers, and Basrang light strike vehicle will also enthrall the audiences, as well as the distinguished guests attending the glittering ceremony at the Kartavya Path on January 26th. This year's parade will exemplify the armed forces' dedication to the nation's security and progress while celebrating the strides made in indigenizations and self-reliance under the government's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. 3 people, including a 3-year-old child, died, and 5 others went missing after a boat capsized in the Ganga in Bihar's Katihar district on Sunday, officials said. The boat, carrying 15 people, capsized near Golagat in Ahmedabad area, they say. 7 people have been rescued so far, and some of them managed to swim to the river bank, the officials said. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar condoled the deaths and announced an ex gratia of rupees 4 lakh each for the family members of the ones who died. The rescue operations is still underway to locate the 5 missing persons, and investigations have been ordered to find the cause of the incident, District Magistrate Manes Kumar Mena told PTI. 2 of the people who died were identified as Pawan Kumar, 60 years, and Sudhir Mandal, 70, the official said. 4 people, including 3 members of a family, were cheered to death in sleep after a fire broke out in a house here due to a short circuit early Sunday, officials said. The fire broke out in a multi-story building in the Kancham Park area, under the Loni police station's jurisdiction. According to the fire department, information about the incident was received at the Loni fire station at 7:06 a.m. and 3 fire engines were pressed into the service. After reaching the spot, it was found that the fire had broken out on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the house, and people were trapped inside. The house was in a congested land, and hence the fire engines were parked outside, and water spraying was started after extending hose pipes through existing houses, it said. The narrow staircase and the smoke in the house made it difficult to go up, and the walls of the house were broken down, it added. 4 people were found on the terrace of the building. 2 of them, Ayesha and her 4-year-old son Ayan, were injured, and the other 2, Sanawas and Samshad, were evacuated safely, the officials said. After dodging the blast, firefighters found 4 bodies inside the house, Chief Fire Officer Rahul told PTI. The victims were identified as Sanawa's wife, Gulbahar and their 2 minor sons, and the son of one of their relatives who live in the same house, the officials said. Sewing machines and clothes were kept on the first and second floor of the house, they said. Due to dense fog, 8 vehicles collided in 3 accidents on the National Highway 27 near Kota on Sunday morning. The accidents occurred in a distance of 700 meters. One truck driver died in the accident while another had both his legs amputated. The police say that due to debris lying on the highway, a truck got stuck. Due to dense fog, 2 other trucks collided with this truck. The driver of the middle truck died in this accident. The second accident happened about 150 meters away from here, where a car and an ambulance were hit by a truck from behind. The ambulance and a car have been completely damaged in these. The ambulance was going from Kota towards Baran carrying the body of the deceased. 200 meters behind, again due to fog, 2 trucks collided with each other. Here, both the legs of the truck driver were amputated, who was rushed to the hospital. Notably, Rajasthan has been reeling under cold wave and dense fog conditions for the last 1 week. The visibility was less than 50 meters in many of the areas state, while the minimum temperature remained in single digit in 15 districts, with lowest 4.9 degrees Celsius in Sirohi. The meteorological department has said that dense fog conditions are likely to continue during the next 2 days in most of the state. However, some relief from cold wave is expected during the next 48 hours. Donald Trump told thousands of roaring supporters he would impose several limits on immigration on his first day in office, vowing to swiftly fulfill the central promise of his presidential campaign at a rally on Sunday inside a packed Washington arena, a day before he returns to power. By the time the sun sets tomorrow, the invasions of our country will have come to a halt, he said to cheers at a Make America Great Again victory rally at the Capital One Arena. Trump repeated his campaign pledge to launch the largest deportations effort in U.S. history, which would remove millions of immigrants. An operation of the scale, however, will likely to take years and be hugely costly. The rally resembled the freewheeling campaign speeches that he have been a Trump staple since his first serious White House run in 2016, with the former and future president delivering a mix of boasts, false claims, and sweeping promises to the delight of the crowd. This is the greatest political movement in American history, and 75 days ago, we achieved the most epic political victory our country has ever seen, he said. Starting tomorrow, I will act with historic speed of strength and fix every single crisis facing our country. The event marked his first major address in Washington since his speech on January 6, 2021 that preceded the storming of the U.S. Capitol by an angry mob of his border. Trump has said he will pardon many of the more than 1,500 people convicted or charged in connections with the attack. Trump's rally, along with his inaugural address on Monday, would preview the tone he plans to adopt during his second White House term. In recent weeks, Trump has bewildered foreign allies by musing aloud about taking over Greenland and the Panama Canal and turning Canada into a U.S. state. He vowed to repeal every radical and foolish executive order of the Biden administration within hours of resuming the presidency at noon ET 1700 GMT. A source familiar with the planning said Trump will take more than 200 executive actions on Monday. Border security will still figure prominently in Trump's first executive orders, another source said, including classifying drug cutters as foreign terrorist organizations, declaring an emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, and moving toward reinstatement of the Remain in Mexico policy that forces non-Mexican asylum seekers to wait in Mexico for their U.S. court dates. Trump's deportation plans have unsettled immigrants subject to removal, including some who immigrant advocates said are law-abiding, long-term residents with U.S. citizens, spouses, and children. Trump said he would get radical woke ideologists the hell out of our military and order the military to construct a missile defense shield over the U.S., though he has yet to offer details on how to carry it out. He also plans to release classified documents relating to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963 and his brother, Senator Robert Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. both in 1968. The indoor hockey and basketball venue will also host some of Monday's inauguration festivities after forecasts of bitter cold prompted officials to move the planned outdoor event inside. The death toll from attacks by ELN rebels in Colombia has risen to 60 in the country's restive Catatumbo region near the border with Venezuela, officials said on Saturday. Rival groups have for years been fighting in the regions over control of the cocaine trade, fighting in recent days pitted rebels from the left-wing National Liberation Army ELN, the biggest of the armed groups still active in Colombia, against the silence of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC. The state signed a peace deal with FARC in 2016. After more than 50 years of war, the ELN has also clashes with the Clan del Golfo, a right-wing paramilitary force-turned trafficking gang, which is the country's largest cocaine cartel. This is a very critical situation in this region of the country, Military Commander General Luis Emilio Cardozo said Saturday. The break of a truce between the ELN and FARC dissidents has caused significant impact on the civilian populations, he said in a video published by the military on X. They have taken people from their homes and murdered them in a miserable way, violating all human rights of the people. It is up to us as the national army to stabilize the territory, Cardozo said, addressing hundreds of troops deployed in the region. After he was elected in 2022, President Gustavo Petro launched negotiations with the ELN and other armed groups that still control parts of Colombia on a promise to pursue total peace. But he paused the already sputtering process with the ELN on Friday, during the first wave of unrest accusing the group of committing war crimes. Around 68 people have been killed across Catatumbo, Colombia's Ombudsman office said last Saturday, while some residents were taking refuge in the mountains to escape the violence. Many people, including peace signatories, social leaders and their families, and even children, face a special risk of being kidnapped or killed, the office said. Affected communities were also beginning to suffer from food shortages, the official said, calling on the armed groups to allow access to humanitarian assistance and cease all attacks against civilians. For his part, the ELN pointed the figure at FARC dissidents. The Catatumbo region knows well that we had warned that if the 33rd Front of the ex-FARC continue attacking the populations and failing to comply with commitments, there was no other way out than armed confrontations, it said on a statement published on X. With a force of about 5,800 combatants, the ELN is one of the biggest armed groups still active in Colombia. While claiming to be driven by leftist and nationalist ideology, the ELN is deeply involved in the drug trade and has become one of the region's most powerful organized crime groups. Talks with the ELN broke down for several months last year after the group launched a deadly attack on a military base. Following the latest round of fighting, the president said the ELN showed no willingness to make peace in a post on Twitter. More than 2,500 people have fled the violence to Tibu, the town's mayor Richard Claro said Saturday. Temporary shelters were opened around Tibu to house displaced people who arrived in flatbed trucks or crumpled on motorbikes, with some carrying household belongings on their backs. We are very afraid for the children and that we will be caught in the middle of the conflict, Carmelina Perez said, who had escaped with her grandchildren, told AFP. Across the border, Venezuela announced the launch of special operations to assist the civilian populations displaced from Colombia, according to a government statement. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.